and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. Pray be seated. Senate is open.
Item 3, oath of allegiance or affirmation of a new senator. Item 4, confirmation of minutes.
Good morning, colleagues, and I'm pleased to offer the floor to the Leader of Government Business, Senator Adrian Thomas.
Thank you very much, Madam President, and good morning to my colleagues on the other side of the Senate and my fellow colleagues here. Madam President, I beg that the minutes of the proceedings of a sitting of the Senate held at Parliament Chamber, Mount Weldale, St. George, on Friday, May the 5th, 2023, at 9:30 a.m. be taken as read.
Honourable members, the question is that the minutes of the proceeding of a sitting of the Senate held at the Parliament Chamber here at Mount Weldale, St. George's, on Friday, the 5th of May, 2023, at 9:30 a.m. be taken as read. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, say nay. The ayes have it. Leader of Government Business.
Thank you, Madam President. Madam President, I beg that the minutes of the proceedings of the sitting of the Senate held at the Parliament Chamber, Mount Weldale, St. George, on Friday, May the 5th, 2023, at 9:30 a.m. be confirmed.
Honourable members, the question is that the minutes of the proceeding of a sitting of the Senate held here at the Parliament Chamber, Mount Weldale, St. George's, on Friday, 5th May 2023, at 9:30 in the morning, be taken as read. All those in favour say aye. Aye. Those opposed say nay. The ayes have it.
Item 5, messages from the Governor General. Item 6, announcement by Madam President.
Colleagues, a wonderful good morning again. Just a few quick announcements. The President has received an excuse from Senator Nolan Cox, who is unable to attend our sitting today. The President has received a notice from Senator Katusha Douglas, who is unable to attend our sitting today. The President has also received a notice from Senator Gloria Thomas, who is unable to attend our sitting today. We've also asked to excuse our colleague Senator Lewis for his duties in about an hour. If he leaves the chamber, it's no reflection on any of us, but a reflection on his call to duty elsewhere. May I quickly then report on two items that have occurred since our last sitting. One was a conversation held. It's actually an interesting conversation entitled Historic Opportunity, the role of Parliament in ending plastic pollution. And this was convened by Parliamericas, which is led by Canada, all the parliamentarians of the Americas. This meeting was held on Zoom on the 22nd of May to prepare for the meeting which was convened in Paris a few days later, looking at the development of a protocol or declaration on ending plastic pollution worldwide. And the conversation, which drew parliamentarians and experts from as far as Chile, south and north up to Canada, and which the chair of the president of the Parliament of Grenada was asked to moderate, we looked at the value of the circular economy as a way of taking recycling into the economic realm. And the notion of designing the new economy was put on the table, to design it both as a combination of old and new. By way of integration, I could announce or mention that there was held here on the occasion of the 40th anniversary of the Eastern Caribbean Central Monetary Union, ECCU, had a session recently, just this past week, which looked also at the blue, the green, and the orange economies. And the idea was to form a new circular economy out of those. So the conversation of creating a new economy that is based on agriculture, on fisheries, on creatives, and in doing so to recycle and to stop ocean pollution in particular, or pollution in general, is something that I report that parliaments are becoming engaged in, and certainly we in this parliament could take a look at it in the future. So this is on our parliamentary agenda at the regional level. The second and last report I'd like to give is that the first meeting for 2023 of the Grenada Women's Parliamentary Caucus, GWPC, was held. This is a caucus that has been in existence for many years, and our women, past and present, have been giving excellent service. It seemed to have been in abeyance a bit because of the passage of COVID, and but we've restarted. Even parliamentarians, women parliamentarians across the Caribbean region is aware of the grouping here in Grenada, and I have given many accolades to it in the past. The first meeting, which occurred last Tuesday, attracted 10 members, and 2 former presidents of the Senate, women presidents of the Senate, Sister Margaret Nichols and Sister Joan Purcell, and many others. The chair continues to be our very own Sister Clarice Kerwin Modeste, and she established 2 working groups of the caucus. You'll be hearing soon, because the activities of the Women's Parliamentary Caucus will involve all parliamentarians. Since then, we have been approached by the Spotlight Initiative, which is a United Nations and European Union collaboration for improving, particularly ending violence against women, but improving women's rights. And I believe that that organization has expressed an interest in legislative action with the caucus. So I wanted to report these developments to you. Thank you for your kind attention, and the documents, relevant documents concerning these 2 meetings will be circulated soon. Thank you. End of announcements. except to remind us all, sorry, that we celebrated African Liberation Day on the 26th of May worldwide, including here in Grenada. Thank you.
Item 7, ministerial statements.
Senator David Andrews, you have the floor, sir.
Thank you very much, Madam President. Good morning to all my colleagues in this honorable House, on the side before me and on this side, and all of you within the chamber, and indeed to all of our citizens throughout Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique, listening probably at home, and those following even in the diaspora. It's really and truly a privilege to be able to stand and to be able to speak with you, speak to your hearing today, and to report briefly on just two matters in relation to the education sector, which I am charged with the responsibility to lead. Madam President, the first of these matters that I'd want to raise to this honorable House is the impending visit of Dr. Randy Glean and a team of the university officials from universities in the United States and Canada. This is due to happen, I think, at the last sitting of the Senate. I did reference it, but we have started a week where this will become a reality. So Dr. Randy Glean and his team, they're due to arrive this week on the 8th. But more importantly, there are some in-house, there are some open in-person sessions that will be conducted with interested Grenadians, students who are interested in pursuing studies in the United States and Canada, in universities there. And these open face-to-face in-person sessions will be conducted to give information to interested Grenadian students about opportunities that exist in those universities in the United States, and I will list them shortly, and in Canada. And the opportunities exist for scholarships, sometimes partially, work-study arrangements, students who have excellent academic records may even have complete tuition support. So there are a number of opportunities that exist, and so I am making a clarion call for persons across all of Grenada, particularly persons from the outer parishes, because it's been my observation since I came into the seat as Minister for Education that quite a lot of the education opportunities, they become less and less subscribed to the further out you go from St. George. Indeed, I'm not happy about that as Minister for Education of the entire state of Petite Martinique, Carriacou, and Grenada. And so I'm making a call for all Grenadian citizens who are interested in furthering your studies. There may be opportunities. I know of individuals who have left here and gone to the United States and studied under similar type programs and have completed the entire course of studies with minimal cost to them personally. This is a golden opportunity. So I'm encouraging all citizens who are interested in studying, particularly those from the outer parishes. So those of you from Telescope or Cafe or Mama Can or somewhere in St. John or St. Patrick's, Samaritan, please, I'm asking you, feel free to come. So on the 9th, on Friday 9th, those open sessions are going to take place. The first is going to be at 10 a.m. at the TMR Ratio Community College. And the second will be at 2:30 p.m. the same date, the 9th, 2:30 p.m. at the Trade Center, the Grenada Trade Center. And those will be public events, so we are encouraging all of you to attend. The universities in question: Western Illinois University, Western Illinois University, Southeast Missouri State University, the University of Guelph, and that's Canadian, SUNY Brockport, it's American, Northwest Missouri State University, and our own St. George's University will be represented as well. Be advised that there are going to be representatives from financial institutions on site to give information as to how persons might further access loans and financing to further access the study opportunities. So I'm encouraging everyone to be a part of those activities. Madam President, I shift gears to talk about something that's of huge interest to all of us, the Caribbean Primary Exit Assessment. And I'm sure the nation, all of our parents, our education stakeholders and partners are all interested, listening keenly for the release of those results. Well, as late as yesterday afternoon, they were not yet on island, contrary to a lot of what was being propagated. They were not yet on island, but we anticipate that it's going to get here shortly, because CXC has given commitments that they'll be here soon. And even when they come here, the ministry has the responsibility to package it properly and do all the necessaries before release, to make sure it's in a form that makes sense to our school communities and the persons who use them. But as of this year, the ministry recognizes that we have erred in how we have been releasing the CPEA results over the years. We have been releasing publicly scores, students' ranks, and in our quiet reflection, we felt we have been encouraging, to some extent, as a ministry, and much to my disappointment as Minister for Education, teaching to the test. We've encouraged that a bit, because we have continued as a ministry to validate simply positions and high scores. So often you found that schools felt pressured into preparing students rigidly for particular examinations to make sure that a certain number of their students get featured in the top this or the top that or the top the other. And this, at the end of it, we produce students who get 15, 16, 20 subjects. Well, we're talking CPEA, but it continues through the system. But we teach the test rather than teach the children. That's an error. And we've perpetuated it for quite a while. In addition to that, the publication of student scores actually is in violation of the Education Act, which suggests in Section 161, subsection 5, the minister may publish the results of an assessment together with a commentary on them by the Chief Education Officer, but not so as to identify individual students or teachers. There's another section that speaks to the release of students' records and reports, section 23, subsection 7. And it said, a student's record is privileged information for the use of the institution and the Ministry of Education officials in the performance of their functions, and is not available to any other person or institution without the written permission of the parent, or if the student is 18 years of age or older, the student. In other words, we have violated, Madam President, the rights of the students by mass publicizing scores. And then we've listened to the calls of many of our citizens, the emotional fallouts for persons who get compared. My child did this. What your child do? Your child didn't do that? My child. People have been clamoring for it. And it's not to say that we are not willing to celebrate success. So I don't want anybody to run away with the notion that this is an attempt to throw cold water on celebrating success. But we ought to comply and function within the ambits of the Education Act. as a Ministry of Education. We've listened to several people complain about the discomfort, the emotional, the psycho-emotional discomfort that is faced when it comes to that period. And so given all of this, as of this year, the following decisions have been taken. This year, all students will be placed in secondary schools. As we move towards universal secondary education, now we are aware that there will be a need to give support to the students who probably found themselves at the lowest end. And we are going to work vigorously. Already I've engaged my team at the Ministry of Education to begin putting together systems of support for those students. In the past, when it was attempted, we had literacy coordinators, and many of them are somewhere in the system, not deployed in the places they were supposed to be in the first place, many of them. So we are going to do an audit of that as well, but we are going to engage several other avenues to ensure that both in the summer that prepares them to go into secondary school, and thereafter we provide support for them. But every child will be placed in a secondary school 2023, September. Further, the list of successful CPA students will be published in alphabetical order. So there will be no scores consistent with what the Act suggests. There will be no scores and ranks published from the Ministry of Education, because we are going to operate in keeping with the provision of the Education Act. However, rest assured that the schools will receive scores for the students they sent up and ranking. So the schools will be able to do their own individual assessment, monitoring, to determine where they've gone wrong, what are the areas and avenues for upgrade, set benchmarks, and do the necessaries. They can do that, and the Act allows for that. The individuals will receive, as has been customary, individual performance cards from the Caribbean Examination Council. That has been the case. So each student receives through the school a card that details their performances in each of the tested areas, their strengths, the areas of weakness, and that will be available to the students, their parents, at the school. If for some reason there may be organizations that might want to sponsor students and might need some degree of private information, that can be had with written permission and consent from parents and the necessaries. We are prepared to facilitate that. So we're not just blocking everything out, but as a ministry, we are prepared to operate in that manner, right? Rest assured, this move is not just a move in isolation, Madam President. We are aware that a lot more needs to be done. We are aware the skills policy and framework and mapping that we set out, that too is being considered. Our plan and policy thinking to mandate education to 18, that too is being considered. And where we feature students' opportunities to diversify or choose a particular career path, that is being considered as well. All of these are being tied together, and we feel confident that at this point, it makes no sense delaying and pushing back and waiting for 5, 6, 7, 10 years. This is a train that's going to be painted while we move. And so we are aware, we want to give everybody access. In fact, and the Sustainable Development Goals, number 4, speaks to access to education for all, United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. And so we are confident that this move takes us closer to fulfilling SDG 4, access to education for all. And put together with all of the other policy directions that we are taking in education from TVET, to mandating education till 18, we are confident combined, and the efforts we are putting to stem the problems that are occurring from lower down in the system. Because we are confident, now I didn't say this before, but we are putting tireless effort into addressing the literacy and numeracy challenges at the early childhood level. At the Ministry of Education, we are embarking on several initiatives there because it's our distinct belief that if we address the literacy and numeracy challenges down there, we'd have a lot less of those things to deal with upwards. The poor performances in mathematics, we believe, is largely contributed to by a lack of literacy and an ability to read and comprehend what's being required, what's being asked. And so we are working down there too. But while we try to work on those and have them come up with a proper skill set, we know we need to deal with those who are already in the system and who are suffering with some of these challenges. And so, Madam President, I am happy to have reported those two matters in relation to the education sector for the benefit of members of the House and all of our citizens across Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique. I thank you very much.
I thank the Honourable Senator, Minister of Education. Thank you. Ministerial statements continue. I see the request for the floor from Senator, the Honourable Jonathan Lacrette, Minister of Health.
Thank you, Madam President. Senatorial colleagues, pleasant morning to everyone. I trust that all of you are well.
Senator Andre Lewis's mic was on. He's entitled to ask the Minister for clarification on education.
Thank you. Senator Lacrette, may I halt you as you so graciously concede the floor to one of your colleagues, Senator Andre Lewis, who would like to put a question to the last presenter. Senator Lewis.
Thank you very much, Madam President, for affording me this opportunity, because within the next 10 or so minutes, I'll have to be absent for a while. Just a comment and a clarification from the Minister of Education, Senator Andrew. I'll start with this last presentation first, just to get some clarity on the aspect of the publication of the list coming out of the CPA and universal secondary education for everyone. I'm not sure if I got it correct. What's the link? The results will not be identified in terms of any particular score. So the whole list will be published once you sit the CPEA. Everyone who sat that will be published. Yes? Okay, I just want to confirm that. So,
correct.
Okay. So it is not a case because in the traditional way, if you quote unquote failed, you would not have gone to secondary school. Now that everyone is going, you would not just be publishing the list of those who are successful, but of everyone. Right. Thanks very much.
Correct.
Just a suggestion on your first contribution, and we must continue to compliment the ministry and the government for seeking to make educational opportunities available to our people. And it is interesting that you observe that the further away you move from St. George, the less opportunities that have been taken, and you are seeking to address that. So may I suggest the following. Next time, rather than having two of the sessions in St. George, in Tamsisi and the Trade Center, let us bring the opportunity to further out from St. George. So next time you may wish to consider holding that opportunity of engagement in St. Andrew or St. Patrick. That is a practical way, in my view, to bring the opportunity to the people. That's just my suggestion before you go. Thank you.
So thank you very much, Comrade Senator Lewis.
That's right. That's right.
Somebody says comrade sounds better. But yeah, much appreciated. The truth is, we did consider that, but given the time frame that the visiting team had, they come in on what's a public holiday, so quite a bit of that is lost. They were not able to come in before that, so everything had to be crammed. And they had a very, based on what they needed to get done, the commute time and all of that may not have allowed. But it's something I did personally think about, even as I reflected on the very comment that I made. But I just think the time frame didn't allow for it this time. But well noted, and it's something that we are always prepared to do. Thank you.
Right.
Senator Lewis.
So another added advantage will be for our visitors. It gives them an opportunity to see Grenada, and that will help us in advertising ourselves. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you, Senators. Senator Lacrette, you may continue, sir.
I just want to ask Senator Lewis if he shows that he's finished. Madam President, pharmaceutical companies, they boost and they drive the global economy. In 2022 alone, the global pharmaceutical industry, it was a $1.48 trillion industry. Huge, massive amount of money. They also drive the medical process as it relates to research and development, and in some regards, bettering the quality of life for all peoples across the entire globe. With that being said, upon assuming office in 2022 last year, we recognized that there was a backlog of invoices that we had as it relates to honoring our commitment to OECS PPS, that's our regional pharmaceutical procurement process. And as a result of that, we moved speedily to ensure that these backlog of invoices were taken care of in a timely manner. I would like to report to the nation that to date, we do not have any of these invoices that we are owing to, and as a result of that, the procurement of the pharmaceutical process moving forward should be much smoother. Yeah. Over the past 11 months, we have done our best to ensure that we cleared our bill with OECS PPS so that we can have access to the pharmaceuticals that we so desire here at our main tertiary medical institution on island, and also some of our subsidiary institutions as well. You must understand also, Madam President, that whenever you have a backlog of invoices, especially with these kind of regional bodies, they don't honor your requests for pharmaceuticals, regardless of how dire your situation is. As a result of that, my team and I, we moved speedily to ensure that we engaged pharmaceutical distributors here on island, as well as pharmacies, to ensure that in the event we have another incident like that happening, our local pharmacies and wholesale distributors can assist us in ensuring that the gap is filled with the pharmaceuticals that we need until. Yes. So at this particular point in time, we did receive a stock of pharmaceuticals last week, I believe, and we have since distributed that to our general hospital and also subsidiary institutions. And we trust that things are going to be much smoother moving forward. Yes. Secondly, on May 25th, 2023, we hosted our second Grenada Shifts. I think one of the main objectives and one of the reward coming out of it is highly personal. It's hearing people saying, I'm going to start back my walking. I'm going to start back juicing. I'm going to start back exercising. That personal commitment to ensuring that there is a level of awareness as to the importance of physical exercise and mental health and well-being is now coming to the surface, because nationally, I believe we've had the opportunity to inspire and motivate and invoke that feeling that individuals can get up and be self-motivated intrinsically and look after and be protagonists or champions of their own health. So it was a success. Over 1,000 people came out, and for me somewhat it's not really about the crowd, the crowd is going to come out, and whether or not people like the music, don't like the music, or just want to meet and greet, that's not what it's all about, because I believe that by and large you can see that people are being engaged in some form of physical activity. And we just want Grenadians to be aware that your mental health is important, your wellness and well-being is important, and as a result, this is our wellness agenda from a ministry's perspective, and we want to encourage them that the next Grenada shift that we're going to have, come out in your numbers, come out and stay healthy, come out and stay strong. That's one of the only ways that we're going to beat our non-communicable disease percentage here in Grenada. So thank you very much, Madam President. That's my contribution.
I thank you for moving the country. Any other ministerial statements? The Leader of Government Business, Senator Thomas.
Thank you very much, Madam President. Madam President, I rise to inform this Honorable House and also the general public and the farmers in particular of one area in which the Ministry of Agriculture is preparing to assist our farmers. Madam President, as we all know, agriculture is very high on the agenda, on the transformational agenda of this administration. And one of the aspects that we want to embark on at this point in time, as I speak, is the whole question of assisting our farmers who are willing to contribute in food production. Madam President, feeding our population is necessary. And as I have mentioned on many occasions, we saw the importance of feeding our population when we experienced Hurricane Ivan in 2004 and COVID in 2020. And more recently, we are feeling the shocks of the war in the Ukraine, between Russia and the Ukraine. Madam President, we have come to the conclusion that we must produce food. And therefore the architects, as I like to refer to the farmers, of food production must be given a lending hand at some point in time. And so, Madam President, we have reviewed the program that we had to assist the farmers, which was called Farm Labor Program. Madam President, it was similar in nature to the debushing program. And we realized that clearing of land for the preparation of plantings of the planting season was not all. We looked at the different aspects of the farm program and the requirements of some of our farmers, because we came to the conclusion that there are farmers who are genuinely in need of help to clear the lands, and there are landowners who have land not being cleared and wait on the golden opportunity to utilize the resources to clear the land and plant nothing. We want to avoid that. And therefore, Madam President, we have come to the conclusion that in order to increase food production and to increase our production and harnessing of the resources at sea, we must look at the different aspects of agriculture. Madam President, we are prepared Madam President, we are prepared to assist and upgrade the farming industry. And so we have established a new program for 2023 called ADAP, the acronyms. Madam President, what it means? ADAP, Assistance for the Development of Agricultural Program. That's what it simply means. And what it entails, Madam President, is that we're going to assist the farmers in the cultivation of crops and livestock. And people in the fishing industry will be part of it, Madam President. The management, we're going to assist them in that particular area also. Madam President, we want to support the farmers who are looking for planting material, the farmers who need assistance in finding fertilizers, the farmers who need assistance in pesticides, small equipment. Madam President, and we are not, sometimes we bypass the people who in the back of the house have a little greenhouse or a little shade house doing seedlings. A very important aspect that many times we bypass. They must be recorded as farmers. And this new program, Madam President, will be reaching out to even the people with the nurseries. But most of all, Madam President, there is a training aspect in that program. Because 10 bags of fertilizers will not be delivered to your farm without you understanding how to apply the fertilizer to vegetables or to tree crops. It's not a question of having 10 bags of free fertilizer, some people like to see, and just broadcasting it in the drains, where the root system, because it is fibrous, it's been thrown away so far that it cannot reach the plants. And then there are plants like the mango orchards or the citrus orchards, where the roots spread much further, and you will have to apply the fertilizer much further away from the main stem of the plant, because the root feeds from the tip, and they must understand that. And therefore farmers must subject themselves to any level of training that we are advocating in this new program. Madam President, we are also want to prioritize the crops that we are looking at. We cannot be shooting in the dark. And therefore we are looking at, obviously, the farmers' representative, my good friend Senator Sinclair, will be happy to hear that nutmeg is the top priority. And we always refer to nutmeg as the black gold. We are working with the senator, Madam President. We are happy we're working with the senator. And then in the last sitting, I refer to the cocoa as the brown gold, another priority crop. And Madam President, this is not all. We have the green gold, the soursop, another priority crop. Top the table now. And the mangoes orchard. The mangoes and the yellow gold. Madam President, we have just gotten the opportunity to export mangoes again, and we want to make sure that the demand that we can meet, well, we cannot meet the demands. I mean, 120 square miles is not sufficient land space. But I'm telling you, Madam President, the market outside there is looking good. And therefore, we want to encourage the farmers who have mango orchard to revitalize, rejuvenate the plants, and so that we can be part and parcel of this new venture. Citrus, coconuts, root crops, and tubers, which include white potatoes, Madam President, corn and peas, bananas and plantain, pawpaw, passion fruit, pineapples, and the vegetable farmers will not be left out, Madam President. On the question of livestock and poultry enterprises, we also have small ruminants. We want to encourage the production of pigs, cattle, and rabbits in the livestock department. And when coming to the blue economy, Madam President, the fisher folk would not be left out. They play a very, very important role. And without having to instruct, or without the government coming forward with any initiative, Madam President, young farmers, young men in this country have taken it up on their own to get themselves involved in the cultivation of sea moss. Madam President, this is a very important initiative. And if these young men have the will to get themselves involved in sea moss cultivation, then the political will and government will, at this point in time, this administration will not shy away from lending a hand to these young people. So definitely, we'll be reaching out to the sea moss cultivation. Madam President, two areas that we take for granted, and the honest truth as a Grenadian, I feel a little embarrassed that over the years we have not been able to capitalize on honey production and horticulture in this country. Madam President, year after year, we go to England and we capture gold. But we are not able to come back home and increase the production so that instead of this, the people in Europe seeing Grenada once a year, they should be seeing Grenada on a daily basis with flowers in their face. Madam President, we have the potential, and this is a sector that we want to encourage people to get involved in because the government will assist them in that particular area. But the honey production, Madam President, I also want to inform this House that we have captured gold in England already with honey production. My colleagues in the Caribbean, they are hungry for Grenada honey. I mean, the word itself indicates that it's sweet. But I want to tell the House, Madam President, it's real sweet. And people want it. People need Grenada honey. And therefore, we want to encourage the bee farmers to increase production, build their hives, and process the honey so that the people in the Caribbean, in the region, and internationally can enjoy the sweet honey from Grenada. So, Madam President, in a nutshell, as I summarize, labor support will be part of this project. Material support, technical assistance, and I want to spend 1 minute on emphasizing the importance of the people getting help to cooperate with the Ministry of Agriculture, because we want to know that when government give assistance, we can say, I can come back in this House and say, production increased by X amount. We want the data. So we want the farmers to cooperate with us. Record, do your recordings. And when I ask you how many bags of fertilizer you use for your 5 acres of cocoa, farmers must be able to tell the ministry that. Share your data and give us the right information so we may be able to assist you. When any one of us go to the doctor, sometimes we see things, we may have to spill our guts and inform him because he wants to make decisions so he can help you. And therefore it is important that these farmers cooperate with the extension officers to provide the ministry with the necessary data so we can assist. And last but not least, Madam President, the question of training. People have to subject themselves to training. Finally, Madam President, we have to define sometimes a farmer. Because we do not want to get ourselves trapped in people who are just hearing about the program this morning and looking for the opportunity to be part of it. We were, at this point in time, Madam President, we want to dedicate this assistance program to the active farmers. We have more programs coming on stream where the people who want to baptize in the farming business, in the agricultural sector, in being active farmers, we are looking, Madam President, the time will come when we will be able to accommodate them. But at this point in time, we really and truly want to involve the active farmers and organizations and cooperatives in this very important program. I thank you.
I thank the Minister of Agriculture, Honorable Adrian Thomas, for his report, emphasis on report. And I see the request for the floor, which is granted to Senator Roderick Sinclair, Senator for Farmers. Have the floor, sir.
Thank you so much, Madam President, and good morning to yourself and the rest of colleagues within this honorable house, and of course to our viewers, listeners on the outside. I must say, as I said in our last sitting, how happy I am for us to be having the ministerial statements and updates, not only for ourselves, but for our various constituents on the outside, knowing key issues that are happening. Of course, I would not have such presentations on agriculture being made and not make some queries, clarifications, and commendations. I want to commend the program. The name of the program also is good. The idea of active farmers, I think, is very important, of course, because you need to start somewhere so that we can get traction. I like the idea of the holisticness, because a lot of time you'll see some of these programs, and I myself had serious agitation on this in the past, that it is mainly focusing on crops, and cutting bush. I had serious issues with that, and so I trust that the definition as presented here to involve fishing, livestock, and the other crops, the various goals. You know, in Olympics there is bronze, silver, and there is gold. In Grenada we have our 5 goals. Of course, this is good. And the nutmeg, the cocoa, the soursop. Only yesterday I was meeting with the Exporters Association trying to farm back, and the question they left me with is, what is the government, how do we engage the government on the issue of soursop production and all of those things. So I know they'll be very happy to hear this. The issue of training and record keeping, to me, should be a must to be receiving support under these mechanisms. I fully support the training for those things, because that is the only way we can have proper application, and record keeping, and of course some sort of digital form for data. I trust that that might be considered. Downstream, the issue of empowering the cooperatives and the different groupings that are already existing. Of course, we would need some sort of help, because some of our organizations are not strong enough. And so the question I really have in all of this, the particular issue of management for these different groups and so on is a concern that I've always had, because farmers, fishers, as the case may be, they work hard. But when it comes to the management, by that time they're tired in the evening, sometimes they don't have the skill set that is required. Not that they don't want to do it, but they don't have the cash flow to even do those books and call meetings and keep minutes and those things. And so I would like to get some sort of clarification from the honorable member, if you have any idea as to what this management support will be at this time, or maybe at a later date we could always get the feedback. But I think this is a very important part in the success factor. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator. And it was a rhetorical question. I don't think you were seeking an answer. So we could move, great, we can move swiftly on. Thank all the senators for their statements. Oh, I see a light on. I see the light off. I see the light on. It's on. Senator Adrian Thomas.
Well, Madam President, I don't believe that I will come to this house and don't get a serious question from Senator St. Clair. So however it comes, I'm prepared. As a young boy growing up, I was always a scout, and we carried the motto, be prepared. So Senator St. Clair, no problem. Madam President, yes, we view management as very critical, and we will definitely be calling on the Senator to assist us in that particular area. The government cannot train every individual farmer in this country. There are over 10,000 farmers. So one of the areas, Madam President, the government will be embarking on is to mobilize farmers. I mean, mobilizing people on issues, on particular subject is very crucial. And when you mobilize farmers, not necessarily that you're going to give them the training themselves, the government, Madam President, but the farmers will be able to help themselves, find themselves in little groups. It's only last week, on this Saturday, Madam President, the people of Baylor was able to organize themselves voluntarily and paint a community center that could have cost maybe $10,000 in painting. And people coming together, we have to mobilize our people on that level, at that level. The world is no longer a spoon-feeding world. You Google, you go on YouTube, and the information is there. So we have to mobilize and direct our farmers how to assist themselves. But at the same time, there are farmers, Madam President, that will have to hold their hands, and we will be catering for them. But the young farmers, Madam President, I show, with the assistance of the ministry, we'll be able to direct them to assist themselves in that particular area. Thank you.
More chances to multiply your Playway winnings by adding Multi-X to your regular Playway bets to win up to 5 times more. Imagine winning as much as $1,200 instead of $240 with a $10 Playway bet by simply adding Multi-X. Place your Playway bets from $1 to $10 or in increments on your favorite Playway symbols or numbers. Then add the Multi-X option at the same value to win 2 times, 3 times, 5 times more, or free plays. With Multi-X, you must bet the same amount wagered on your regular Playway bets for your winnings to be multiplied. Grenadians, value your dreams and win your way as much as 5 times more with Multi-X added to Playway, and watch your money grow. Must be 18 years or older to play. NLA, making your dreams come true.
Good morning, viewers and listeners. Welcome to the National Lotteries Authority's Daily Pick 3 Mid-Morning Draw for today, Tuesday, June 6, 2023. I am Anisha Charles. With me this morning is Ms. Giselle Alexander from PKF Accountants and Business Advisors, whose purpose is to ensure that this show is conducted in fair accountable manner, with the game balls with industry standards and in no way tampered with. This time, your tickets in hand. It's Daily Pick 3. It pays to play. Good luck. morning is, check your tickets in the meantime. First number up is 9, second number is 1, third and final number is 8. Okay, let's recap those numbers. Numbers on the screen, check your tickets. First number up is 9, the second, 1, third and final is 8. So that's 9, 1, and 8. Congratulations, all winners. For Daily Pick 3 tickets drawn last evening, we had a total prize payout of $8,910 with a total of 49 winners. Congratulations to those of you who are part of this payout. Tune in next to get your Play With Multi-X draw. We'll see you soon. Welcome back, everyone, to another Play With Multi-X mid-morning draw for today, Tuesday, June 6, 2023. I am Anisha Charles. With me again is Ms. Giselle Alexander from PKF Accountants and Business Advisors, whose purpose is to ensure that this show is conducted in an accounting manner and the game balls with industry standards and in a way stamped with. Let's play Playway, value your dreams and win your way. Good luck. This morning's winning play number is, check your tickets. Your winning play number is 14. Let's recap the number 1414. 14 represents the dream symbol old woman. Congratulations, all winners. It's now time to select your multi-X winning ball. Manually with multi-X, you can multiply play winnings with FP, 2X, 3X, and 5X on your winning play bet. Hope you got your tickets out. Let's play and good luck. Your winning multi-X ball for this morning is 2X. Let's recap. Your winning multi-X ball for this morning is 2X. Congratulations to you if you are this morning's lucky winner. For multi-X with play tickets drawn last evening, we had a total prize payout of $20,832 with a total of 227 winners. And of course, congratulations to those of you who are part of this payout. Tune in next to get your daily cash flow draw. We'll see you really soon. Welcome back, everyone, to another daily cash flow mid-morning draw for today, Tuesday, June 6, 2023. I am Anisha Charles. With me once again is Ms. Giselle Alexander from PKF Accountants and Business Advisors, whose purpose is to ensure that this show is conducted in an accounting manner, the game balls with industry standards and in a way stamped with. This time, show tickets at hand. It's daily cash flow. More plays, bigger prices. Let's find out what this morning's winning numbers will be. Good luck to you. Okay, check your tickets. First number for this morning is? First number up is 5, second number is 3, third number is 0, fourth and final number is 6. Okay, let's recap those numbers. Numbers on the screen. Check your tickets. First number up is 5, the second 3, third 0, fourth and final is 6. So that's 5, 3, 0, and 6. Congratulations, all the winners. For the daily cash flow tickets drawn last evening, we had a total prize payout of $9,050 with a total of 21 winners. Congratulations to those of you who are part of this payout. Reminding you as always to go out and grab your tickets for the midday draws, because when you do, you help to support sports, culture, and the nation building. Thanks for joining us. Have a wonderful day.
Big money, money, money. $3,000 every week for 3 months.
What?
Yes, it's the NLA's Crazy Cash Giveaway Promotion. Every week from April 11th to June 30th, 3 lucky Daily Games customers will randomly win $1,000 each week. Imagine winning as much as $36,000 in 12 weeks.
How?
Spend $12 in a single purchase on Daily Cash 4, Daily Pick 3, or Playway. Look for the words Cash Winner on your tickets to collect $1,000. The more you spend $12 on your favorite daily games, the more chances you have to win. Must be 18 or older to participate. All prizes must be collected by July 7th, 2023. Other terms and conditions apply. See stores for details. NLA, making your dreams come true. Money, money, money.
Of houses, and I wanted to know why they use the word disposal.
as if you're selling off an asset as a one-time thing, disposal of an asset, rather than sale of a house, because I believe that the housing authority is in the sale of houses as part of their business model, that they build and sell houses. So I was wondering why the difference in terms of the recording, one as sales of concrete products and the other as disposal. So these are just some brief comments that, that I've noticed from the financials tabled. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Ahmed. Any other questions? We would therefore propose that the Minister of Housing take on board these questions for answering in the future. Yes? And I want to encourage all members to study report and have this kind of investigatory, rigorous review and questioning on the functioning of the state apparatus. That is our fiduciary responsibility here in the Senate, and encouraging us to be engaged with it. Thank you. Senator Honorable Adrian Thomas.
Yes, Madam President. Madam President, the House will realize that the reports are from 2018 up to 2021. Madam President, I really want to pledge to the Senate and to the Grenadian people that we'll try our very best to avoid these things from happening. Actually, these reports should have been submitted and presented a very long time ago. And I really want to commend my colleague on the other side for raising those questions, and I will definitely seek the answers as soon as possible so that I can furnish you with the important information. Thank you.
Thank you, and therefore in that vein we look forward to the 2022 report.
Definitely.
Thank you, Senator.
Item 8, petitions. Sorry, item 9, petitions. Item 10, government notices. Item 11, unofficial notices. Item 12, questions.
Senator Roderick St. Clair.
Yes, Madam President, good morning again. Regarding, of course, there are some parts we want to again commend, of course, as was promised from the last sitting, the leader of government business.